All right, so today we're talking about Psalm 119 and a few things that I really like this psalm. I don't know if you know, obviously this is one of the longest chapters in the Bible. Uh, if you listen to the Bible audiobook, it takes probably about I think 18 minutes or so to get through it, but um, very rich psalm and telling you about how the word affects us, how it helps us, how it shapes us, you know, and you know, I like how this one study Bible I have puts it. It says, "Obedience to God is the only way to achieve real happiness," and that's true. So I'm just going to go through the book of, the chapter 119 of Psalm. It feels like a book sometimes, how long it is, but what 180 verses or so. Let's see. Yeah, 176 almost. Um, so yeah, let's start off with the first section of Psalm 119, which is verses 1 through 8. And yeah, let's go through it. I'll be reading from the New Living Translation. Um, Very easy to follow. Very good translation as well. A lot of people may not like the interpretation they might take sometimes, but I think it's very sufficient for today's reader. So, starts off by saying, "Joyful are people of integrity who follow the instructions of the Lord. Joyful are those who obey his laws and search for him with all their hearts. They do not compromise with evil, and they walk only in his paths. You have charged us to keep your commandments carefully. Oh, that my actions would consistently reflect your decrees. Then I will not be ashamed when I compare my life with your commands. As I learn your righteous regulations, I will thank you by living as I should. I will obey your decrees. Please don't give up on me." So that's the first section, and I'd like to know what stands out to you in that first section. To me, that first verse that says, "Joyful are people of integrity who follow the instructions of the Lord." That really stands out to me because it's telling us that you know that following the instructions of the Lord does produce joy and happiness when you are when you are you've been bought with a price. Um, we are to be slaves of God, really, and um it's when we when the Lord, like in Jesus, when Jesus said in Matthew 6:33, um, you know, seek the kingdom of God, and all these things will be added to you. We are to put God first, and God obviously wants us to have integrity, to follow His instructions. So we will be happy to do that. Um, and then verse 2, even, "Joyful are those who obey His laws and search for Him with all their hearts." Sometimes I wonder, am I searching for God with all my heart? It's kind of hard to do that sometimes in today's society, with all the competing distractions, everything going on in the world. But we are to still obey his law and to still search for him and depend on him daily with all our hearts. That's what I think. Um, and then there's another verse here that I really liked. It says, "They do not compromise with evil, and they walk only in his paths." I mean, that's telling us right there, don't compromise with evil. The minute you do, there's sure trouble. There's trouble to sure follow for you. Um, and if we walk in his path, yes, it may not be smooth. Um, it might be. We don't know. But we are to be called. I mean, Jesus suffered, so he told us we would have trouble as well. So we have to think about that. As they say, counting the cost of following Christ. It's a cost. Like we're really supposed to be completely obedient. It's kind of hard sometimes. Especially living in a world. But God knows that, and that's why we are continue to pray and depend on Him daily for everything. Um, and I like the way this verse 7 says, as I learn your righteous regulations, I will thank you by living as I should. Now, in different translations, it sounds like it doesn't even sound anywhere near as easily understood. Like I was looking at the New American Standard. I'm trying to look at, but I'm not going to get to it right now. But it like it had a completely. I like that translation, but it's like it has a completely. It says it differently, and it's supposed to be a literal translation, but at the same time, literal from the ancient days is tough to compare to our days, our language. But I like the way this was put because yes, we should be thanking God for his gifts and living as he has commanded us to live, being obedient, and showing love to others. So, yeah, I don't know. What did you think stood out from that section if you read it? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.